Lusi drops a shocking announcement about a relationship with Wu wasn't what we expected. What truth could shake fans and spark endless speculation overnight? With whispers turning into headlines, the revelation has left the internet in a frenzy. Join Red Carpet Revealed as we dive deep into the story everyone's talking about right now. It was supposed to be an ordinary afternoon in the Chinese entertainment world, a slow news day with nothing more than a few promotional stills from upcoming dramas and the usual celebrity birthday greetings trending online. But by mid-evening, every feed, every platform, every trending list was consumed by one name, one headline, and one revelation that no one saw coming. Lusi, the vibrant, playful actress who had charmed millions on screen, had just gone public with a statement about a relationship with Wu, and it was nothing like the love story fans had been busy building in their minds for years. The internet erupted almost instantly. Hashtags appeared faster than they could be counted: Zhao Lusi announcement, Wu reaction, unexpected truth, Lusi. Fans who had been casually scrolling stopped dead in their tracks, and those already invested in the Zhao Lusi Wu pairing went into an emotional tailspin. Across Weibo, Instagram, TikTok, and beyond, theories began multiplying. Screenshots of her post circulated alongside zoomed-in shots of her expression, the curve of her smile, glint in her eyes. Every detail, no matter how small, was being scrutinized as though decoding a national mystery. To understand why this moment hit with such force, one had to look back at the slow-burning story that had brought them here. Zhao Lusi and Wu's paths had crossed publicly several years ago in a drama that showcased their undeniable on-screen chemistry. From the very first press stills, audiences noticed something different in the way they looked at each other, a warmth, an ease, a spark that felt unscripted. Promotional interviews only added fuel to the fire, with playful banter, inside jokes, and moments where their gazes lingered a beat too long. The fandom coined them Lusi, a name that began as a casual hashtag and soon became a cultural shorthand for a pairing that felt destined. For years, both actors maintained a polite silence on the rumors. They would address questions with diplomatic charm, sidestepping direct answers while never quite shutting the door. Wu, with his grounded charisma and quiet confidence, seemed content to let fans dream. Zhao Lusi, known for her quick wit, would tease about their camaraderie but always stop short of confirming anything real. This dance kept the public hooked, spinning speculation into a web that stretched across countless fan forums and gossip columns. That's why the sudden announcement, delivered without any advance warning, felt like a detonation. It didn't come in the form of a carefully staged magazine spread or a scripted interview. Instead, Zhao Lusi took to her personal livestream format that offered no edits, no safety net. She appeared on screen in a simple cream sweater, her hair tied loosely back, makeup minimal. Behind her, a small bookshelf and a pot of fresh lilies suggested the setting was her own home. She smiled as she greeted viewers, but there was a tension in her eyes, a flicker of something more serious beneath her cheerful exterior. "I've been thinking about this for a long time," she began, her voice softer than usual. "And I know there have been so many stories about me and Wu, stories that made a lot of people happy. Also stories that weren't always true. Tonight, I want to tell you my truth, in my own words." The livestream chat exploded with messages, hearts, and emojis racing up the screen. Fans urged her to go on, their curiosity sharpening with each passing second. She took a breath, glanced down briefly as if collecting her thoughts, said it, the sentence that would send shockwaves across the entertainment landscape. "Wu and I have a relationship," she said, pausing deliberately, letting the word settle. "But maybe not the relationship you've been imagining." The phrasing was careful, almost surgical in its precision. It wasn't a denial, but it wasn't the romantic confirmation many had hoped for either. She spoke about their shared history, calling him one of the most important people in her life, someone she had trusted through both career highs and personal lows. She described their bond as deep, complicated, and rooted in respect, likening it to a friendship that had survived pressures most people couldn't imagine. What stunned fans wasn't just the content of her revelation, it was the emotion in her delivery. Her voice wavered at times. When she spoke about moments of misunderstanding between them, her eyes glistened. She hinted at private struggles, to times when they had supported each other quietly, far from the cameras. "Some of the best memories I have are the ones no one will ever see," she admitted, her smile tinged with melancholy. More intriguing was what she left unsaid. She never explicitly called their connection romantic or platonic, leaving the definition suspended in the air like a question only they could answer. The ambiguity was a masterstroke. Or not, it kept every theory alive while adding layers of complexity to the narrative. Within hours, Wu Lei's name began trending alongside hers. The actor did not immediately issue a formal statement. Eagle-eyed fans noticed subtle activity on his social media. He liked Zhao Lusi's announcement post. That could be interpreted as silent support, or perhaps something deeper. Later that evening, he posted a black and white photo of a sunrise with a caption, "Some bonds don't need a name." The internet went into overdrive, dissecting the line as though it were a coded confession. Media outlets scrambled to cover the story, trying to spin their own angle. Some framed it as a bittersweet tale of unfulfilled romance, as a testament to an unbreakable friendship. Style magazine seized on the emotional undercurrent, publishing think pieces about the value of deep platonic relationships in a culture obsessed with romance. But the most intense reactions came from the fans themselves. In the hours following the announcement, fan communities split into factions. The group clung to hope, convinced that the "not what you think" framing was simply a prelude to bigger, more romantic reveal down the line. The group expressed heartbreak, interpreting her words as the final nail in the coffin of their shipping dreams. Still others embraced the ambiguity, celebrating the fact that whatever the label, Zhao Lusi and Wu Lei clearly cared deeply for each other. Through it all, Zhao Lusi maintained her composure, her live stream with a heartfelt thank you to those who had supported both her and Wu Lei over the years. "No matter how you see us," said with a small smile, "please know that we see you, and we're grateful." Followed was a media frenzy unlike anything either star had experienced before. Entertainment reporters dug through old interviews, searching for clues in offhand comments or shared glances. Paparazzi photos from past events resurfaced, analyzed under the new light of her words. Even industry colleagues were drawn into the conversation, with some offering cryptic remarks about a connection you can't fake and others urging the public to respect their privacy. As the dust began to settle, one thing was clear: this was not the end of the Zhao Lusi Wu Lei story. If anything, her announcement had deepened the intrigue, setting the stage for a second act that promised to be even more compelling. And in the quiet spaces between public appearances, one could only wonder what conversations the two of them were having. Away from the noise, away from the speculation, privacy of their own understanding. In the days following Zhao Lusi's announcement, the entertainment industry found itself in a rare state of pause. Usually, celebrity revelations are followed by quick clarifications, rushed statements, or even damage control from management teams eager to contain the narrative. But here, there was no rush, no attempt to tie up the loose ends. The ambiguity was allowed to breathe, and with every hour that passed without a definitive explanation, the fascination only grew stronger. Fans became amateur detectives overnight. They combed through years of footage, red carpet events to variety show appearances, time-stamping moments where a glance lingered too long or a smile seemed to carry hidden meaning. Some created elaborate timelines mapping out the trajectory of Zhao Lusi and Wu Lei's interactions, overlaying them with key career milestones and public sightings. Others compiled side-by-side photos that appeared to show the two wearing matching accessories, a bracelet here, a baseball cap there, small details that, to the hopeful, suggested a closeness beyond friendship. While media outlets across Asia dedicated entire segments to the relationship that wasn't what we expected. Talk shows invited entertainment commentators, relationship experts, and even fellow actors to weigh in. Some guests insisted that Zhao Lusi's words were a carefully crafted way to protect a romantic relationship from public scrutiny. Others argued that the public's inability to accept deep platonic bonds between men and women was the real issue at play. The debates were heated, but one thing everyone agreed on was that the pair's connection, whatever its nature, was extraordinary. Wu Lei's silence became a talking point in itself. While he hadn't issued a direct clarification, his actions spoke volumes to those watching closely. He was photographed arriving at a studio wearing a simple hoodie and baseball cap, his expression unreadable. The reporter shouted a question about Zhao Lusi. He gave a small smile but kept walking, offering no verbal answer. That image alone, a still shot of that faint smile, made headlines. with captions ranging from the smile that says everything to what is Wu Lei hiding. Then came a development no one had anticipated. Just 3 days after Zhao Lusi's livestream, Wu Lei made a surprise appearance on her scheduled promotional event for her upcoming drama. It was not a joint project, and his presence had not been announced. As Zhao Lusi stepped onto the stage, applause filled the venue, swelled into gasps when Wu Lei walked out from the wings. A bouquet of pale yellow roses. The two exchanged a long look, long enough for cameras to capture it from every angle, before embracing in a way that was both warm and reserved. A hug that carried familiarity but also an awareness of the hundreds of eyes watching. When asked about his unannounced visit, Wu Lei simply said, "I wanted to support a friend." But the emphasis he placed on the word friend only deepened the mystery. Some fans felt it was a deliberate confirmation of Zhao Lusi's framing, while others suspected it was a smokescreen. To maintain privacy while still showing up for her in a deeply personal way. Backstage, according to whispers from event staff, the two were seen talking quietly, occasionally laughing. One staff member described their interaction as easy, like people who've known each other for a very long time, but who are also navigating something complicated right now. No cameras caught those moments, but the descriptions alone were enough to keep fan discussions alive for weeks. Of the speculation, Zhao Lusi's management released a brief statement thanking fans for their understanding and support. It reiterated a request for privacy and emphasized her commitment to her current and upcoming work. Wu Lei's team, on the other hand, remained completely silent, an absence of commentary that felt deliberate in its own right. As the weeks passed, the conversation began to evolve. Articles shifted from pure speculation to deeper explorations of celebrity privacy in the digital age. Opinion pieces asked whether fans and the media had a right to demand a label for every high-profile relationship. Interviews with other actors revealed a shared sentiment that the public often underestimates the emotional toll of constant speculation. Sometimes the pressure to define things ruins them. One veteran actress remarked, "Not everything needs to be made official for it to be real." Still, the story refused to fade. A charity gala in Shanghai reignited interest when Zhao Lusi and Wu Lei were both in attendance. Though they arrived separately and were seated at different tables, cameras caught them exchanging smiles across the room. Later, in an unplanned moment, they ended up side by side during a group photo with other attendees. The resulting image, with the two standing close but not touching, enough to send hashtags soaring once again. Fans began to notice something subtle but consistent in every public encounter since the announcement. Both Zhao Lusi and Wu Lei seemed more relaxed in each other's presence than before. There was no awkward avoidance, forced distance. If anything, they seemed freer, perhaps because the announcement had removed the burden of pretending there was nothing to address. Whatever the announcement had meant to them personally, it shifted something in their dynamic. In an interview with a fashion magazine, Zhao Lusi was asked, carefully, about the public's reaction to her livestream. She smiled knowingly before answering. "It would surprise people," she said. "But I also knew it was time to speak in my own way. The most important things in life can't always be explained. Sometimes you just have to live them." The interviewer noted that she didn't mention Wu Lei by name, but the softening in her expression was unmistakable. By early autumn, the frenzy had mellowed into a steady hum of curiosity. Both actors returned their focus to work. Lusi promoting her new drama to critical acclaim, and Wu Lei starting production on an ambitious historical film. Yet, even as they pursued separate projects, the thread connecting them remained visible to anyone paying attention. Wu Lei was spotted visiting the set of Zhao Lusi's drama during a late-night shoot, bringing snacks for the cast and crew. A few weeks later, Zhao Lusi was seen attending a private screening of Wu Lei's film in progress, slipping in quietly after the lights went down. Drew to a close with both of them nominated for major awards. At the ceremony, they sat at different tables. Camera found them during the broadcast, catching a shared laugh from across the room during a light-hearted moment in the program. When Zhao Lusi won Best Actress, Wu Lei was one of the first to stand and applaud. When Wu Lei later took home Best Actor, Zhao Lusi's smile was visible even in the wide shot. Looking back, Zhao Lusi's announcement had not been a closing chapter, as some feared, but a pivot point, a moment that reframed their connection and, in a way, liberated it. Refusing to package it neatly for public consumption, they had preserved its complexity, and in doing so, They had given fans something rare, not a story with a clear beginning and end, but an ongoing mystery. Live and unfolding. The truth about their relationship may never be fully known outside the two of them. But perhaps that's the point. Industry where so much is orchestrated, where every interaction can be rehearsed and every statement filtered. There is something compelling about a bond that resists definition. Whether it is friendship, love, or something that defies both. Zhao, Lusi and Wulei have made it clear that what matters most is that it is theirs. And as the final lights dimmed on the last awards show of the year, the two found themselves, once again. Same frame, smiling, unguarded. Entirely at ease. The photo, shared millions of times online, needed no caption. It was, in its own quiet way, the perfect sequel to the night Zhao Lusi surprised the world. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned and join us again in our next video for more exclusive stories. See you soon.